Hello and welcome back to Pumpkin Patch Soaps. I'm your spooky soaper and it is time to make some holiday themed soaps. This is my lovely tree embed that I made for this. It's going to go inside. And these are the walkie-talkie embeds that I have made for the top of the soap. These are going to be so fun because what is John McClane without his walkie-talkie, which he can talk to everyone on, huh? Have to have that. We need little polls in each soap that makes you think of what the theme is, even if it's not directly the thing itself. For example, I have had soaps where I've had horror characters' faces on them. Those are a bit easier to tell what they are. Ghostface, Michael Myers. However, I'm not about to try to make John McClane out of soap. That's a lot. That's a lot. So instead, I opted here for the walkie-talkie. We have the tree inside, and we are going to make the famous Yippee-Ki-Yay go into the soap. I can't wait to show you how we're doing it. It came out so great. I've never done this before with a soap, and it's my first time, and it came out great. Now here we are just turning the regular oils and the regular lye water into soap. Magic, pure magic. I just love it. So we have mixed those together and it is time for the real fun to start. We're going to color up our soap bases. And the first color that we are going to be using is a gray. I am using Satin Gray Pillowcase from Mad Micas. I just love all of their soap colors. They're great. They do have one special just for bath bombs too, but a lot of them can be used for either or because they are all vegan and sustainably sourced and made, and I just love it so much. And they have the funnest names. Satin Gray Pillowcase, kind of a more boring one, but they have really fun ones for all of their others, like Maniacal Pea and Harold's Purple Crayon, Pow Pow Purple, Love Bite. So here we are. We're just gonna, go in by hand and mix this up. And, I don't want this to get too thick too fast so that I can still put that tree in there, which is why we are just gonna make sure that this doesn't set up too much. And for a fragrance, we are using a mixture here that I made. We are doing gingerbread and espresso. So it's gonna smell very spicy and coffee-y and kind of like warm. It's a good winter scent. I love it. Now, I know a lot of people have the argument of Die Hard's not a Christmas movie. Well, I'd like to think that it is. There's a tree, there's holiday songs, there are presents. It's the perfect holiday movie, perfect Christmas movie if you celebrate Christmas. If not, it's just a good all around time. Who doesn't want explosions with Bruce Willis? It just fits. Look at that. He's so happy. He's so jolly. He's ready for it. We're going to pop in the tree now because you have to have that. And we're just going to make sure that it goes nice and straight. I don't want it flopping over. So we're just going to carefully do that and let it be. Let this set up for a little bit before I get to the other colors. Now, I have not always been such a Die Hard fan. I still am not, rolling over every mountain I can to get to go see all of them. But my mom was thoroughly obsessed. She's no longer with us, but she loved Bruce Willis and the Die Hard movies. She owned every single Bruce Willis movie that he had ever been in. No lie. She had me message him one time to see if, he would send like a cameo type thing to say happy birthday Holly, and she would have just lost her mind. But alas, big stars, they didn't, it's not likely they're going to see these things, and it's totally reasonable. They have an ungodly amount of people trying to get in contact with them. And then she made a TikTok account to follow me because I started my business, and she was very supportive, and she wanted to, bless her, she wanted to like all of my videos. So she made an account, and the name she chose was my man, Bruce Willis. So this is just an homage to her. This is a soap for her. Perfect. I love it. And it just makes me happy. It helps make me feel like, yeah, she's seeing this. We're here. It's good. We're good. It's okay. We're not depressed this season. So we're mixing this up. I am mixing together an orange and a yellow to get kind of a fiery feel. We want this top to be more like the explosion parts, on top of the building. So we have the tree inside with the gray for the building feel. And then we're just going to kind of ploop this in. And it's okay that it breaks that base, because what happens with explosions? Oh yeah, things break apart. They bust up. It doesn't need to be flat. Then it looks like the flyer is just sitting on top of the building. We don't want that. So we're just going to kind of layer that in and let it fall through. That's totally fine. I know it's opposite of what you normally do when you do layers, but trust me, it's going to look great. I'm so excited. And next we are going to be doing the frostings on top, and I'm doing a mixture. We're going to do a orange and we're going to do a red. And they're going to be kind of mixed together. They're going to be very similar in color, so there won't be a whole lot of difference, and it won't look muddy too if they get too mixed, which is what else I was trying to go for, because we don't want that. I don't like a muddy soap. So we are mixing in that, and then I had Candy Apple from Nurture Soap here, which is a nice kind of more brightish red. Just mix it up a little. I wanted a little pop, a little something something to stand out amidst the darker colors. So, I'm curious, what kind of soaps, if you could make some, would you make for this season? Or if you are a soap maker, what kind are you doing for this season? I want to know. I love seeing what everyone else is doing. The others that are in this section are going to be, of course, here, the Die Hard. We are also going to have an Edward Scissorhands one. There is a candy cane one where the candy cane has eyes, and I've named him Candy Cane Carl. He's a mischievous goofball with googly eyes. And the final one in this season's release will be Cthulhu Claus, which of course is a Cthulhu with a Santa hat. He's got his little eyes poking out with his hat, and then he's got tentacles poking out the top of the soap, and inside is kind of the feel of his coat and whatnot. And I'm just so excited for them. And so we're gonna let these set up, and of course we'll come back in here when it's time, but I just wanted to kind of show you we're gonna scoop a little bit on top first before these fully set up, just so that we fill in that little gap, because the other soaps don't quite reach the top yet. So I'm going to take the leftover here that didn't go into the frosting and put it in this top here. You'll see what I mean. I'm bad at explaining, but you will see what I mean in just a moment when we start piping on the frosting. And my gosh, isn't that just such a pretty color? Oh my gosh, it makes me think of fall, even though we're doing Christmas. They're very fall colors, but I promise once they're unmolded, you'll be like, oh yeah, okay, Die Hard, got it, we got it. It's very deceiving. Soap is one of those things that you're very much like, trust the process. So we have this fun little tip here, and we're just gonna kind of plop this along. And I love frosting, but I get impatient sometimes, and it's a problem. So you can tell here that this is definitely too soon. And it's a little soupy, but you get a little bit of texture from it. So that's what matters, and that it's staying on top. As long as it does its thing, we're good. I don't know about other soap makers, but I am horrible at waiting. I just get so impatient. I want to do them, and I'm like, oh, it needs to be now. And, I might take myself a little break and go force myself to watch a YouTube video or something. And I come back, And it just, I'm impatient. I can't help it. So what you didn't see here was I used a spoon and kind of just did a textured top instead because it was so soft. Uh, just so that it didn't look so, I don't know, sloppy. I wanted more of an actual design. So we used the spoon and did a textured top instead here, and I really kind of like it. It gives more of a fiery feel, I think. So we are now just going to do the final little bit on top here and put on all of those walkie-talkies. Now, when I say that I'm not doing the traditional Christmas or holiday soaps and that I just don't want to, it's not my style, it doesn't mean that I don't like them. I love them. In fact, most of the movies that I watch around this time of year too are very cutesy, fun things. Elf is my all-time favorite holiday movie. I am obsessed. I love Will Ferrell, first off. But I also just love how sweet the storyline is and how hilarious so many parts are. But I don't know. My personal aesthetic as far as art I like to create is more dark, more spooky, more kooky, and weird. So that's just why. That's all. All right, look at this. We're done for the moment. Because remember, we still have one more step. After we cut it, I need to put in the fun stuff. The stuff that really lets us know it's Die Hard soap. So we're going to use my big old cutter. This is Winifred. She's lovely. She cuts wonderful. I got her from Nurture Soap last year. I think I got her last year. And I have 3 soap cutters in total, so of course, that's why she is Winifred. My other 2 are Mary and Sarah. But Winifred gets used the most. She's the head. She's the lead. Gotta bring her out. So look at these. Oh my gosh, they are so exciting. I love this. Look at that. It's great. So fun. And the tree came out great. It's nice and upright, just like I wanted. And these just cut so nicely like butter. I definitely am very happy I made these. Because I was a little skeptical at first. I was like, wait, how am I going to have these really read Die Hard? It's unless you make John McClane, it's difficult. So, we did it. I think it's going to be great. I can't wait till you see this next part. I'm impatient waiting to get to it as it is because I'm an impatient person. Does anyone else have that trouble? Do you have anything in particular that just makes you impatient? Like maybe you're not an impatient person in general, but certain things really bring it out for you. I'm curious. Now, do you remember John's famous line? Say it with me. Yippee-ki-yay! Can't say it, YouTube guidelines, but we did it. So I'm gonna be leaving off that final part. We're just putting in yippee-ki-yay. I don't know. In case anyone gets this and has kids, they don't need that. Also, I don't have space. That's a lot to put into a soap. And like I said, this is my first time ever putting words into it. I don't have stamps, first off. They cost money, and I'm not great at making them. So I took this little rubber sculpting tool that I have, and while these soaps were still very fresh so that they were soft enough, I just dipped it in and kind of just notched out these little letters, and I used a little bit of mica inside to brighten them out. And look at that. Who's excited? Yippee-ki-yay, these are done. They're ready. I hope you all like them.